Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
schedule. So,
That,
Preternatural interview, episode 1 with Jake Conley, and this is going to be an interview about a shared experience, actually, at a haunted house I used to live at. Let's just call it Lone Wolf, not give a number to it, if that's cool.
yeah.
And yeah, so Jake, this was that the first time we hung out? This experience, or one of the first?
No, it was one of the first times we had hung out, and I think it was early 2005, actually.
Okay. And
Um, yeah.
so like backstory is we're at my mom's house, kind of like well-to-do upper middle class area of Orange County, and nice house, newer house, not an old rickety house, and nothing had been uh, there before. It was cattle land, right? So it's kind of strange that we had this experience, and we'll just we'll go in it from your point of view. From there, I just want to set a little backstory.
So going over to the house, I remember the friends I was with. They were like, "Hey, you got to check this house out. It's they kind of played it up as, hey, there's some weird stuff going on there. Just let us know if you see anything."
Mm.
And when we drove up to the house, I mean, per per this neighborhood, it was the typical really large new house. I mean, the house itself was only like a year and a half old at
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
So, it was really interesting for anything to be going on in this particular house. So we get there, and I get kind of a nickel tour of the house, and I was told, hey, let us know if you notice anything weird. And so we're there having a good time, and maybe about an hour, and the sun starts to go down. We're out in the backyard in the patio by the fire pit area, and the fire's going. And we're joking, laughing, drinking a little bit, and all of this. And the pool is gorgeous. I'm just going to go into that. The pool is really nice, and there's this really odd and eerie bronze statue of a little girl reading a book, and she's laying down on her stomach, just like kind of like
I,
an Alice in Wonderland type of
I
thing.
made that my profile avatar, the picture that you sent to me, because it's I'm like, there we go. There's some evidence right there.
And I will just refer to the statue as her
Okay.
because it's definitely something going on there. And I remember hearing like a little girl, like all of us heard it. It wasn't just me. We had all heard it, and we kind of like looked around and we thought maybe there was a girl playing outside or something, not a big deal. But then we heard like this little girl humming, like audible humming. And so we're like, this isn't right. So I remember one of us got up and went and to go look around because you were like, yeah, there's no speakers, there's nothing, there weird.
And,
It's not like a setup.
and it was changing the source, the audio source was going from like forest side of the house, backyard,
Uh huh.
upstairs, stuff like that.
It was,
That's when I'm getting goosebumps now, but that's when I was like, okay, we got to check this out.
and it was extremely odd because this house backed up to what they call a wilderness sanctuary, wilderness land. It's literally just oak trees and nature. No other houses for, I would say, 10, 15 miles, maybe more.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing behind this house. And so, that passes. And I remember hearing anecdote about this house, about a guy in a hat. Now, some people said it was a guy in a top hat. I saw that it was a hat. I don't know that it was necessarily a top hat, but it
Yeah,
wasn't a ball cap like this. It was an old type hat that had a brim that went all the way around it.
like almost like a
And
derby or something.
yeah, it was just an old timey hat with a brim. I didn't see the top of it, but the weird thing is when you walk into this house, you can instantly feel a different type of energy.
Mm.
Um, like I said, beautiful house, brand new, still have the new house smell. Um, you know, but you walk into the foyer area right when you go into the front door, and there's stairs that kind of go around this way. But up top, all four bedrooms are upstairs, but there's this round kind of like rotunda. The walkway is circular. Now, And this happened more than once because it happened on a separate visit. But when you're walking through that rotunda area, you will see someone out of the corner of your eye
Yeah.
looking down at you.
Mhm.
Looking down at you. This isn't a story from John. This is what I saw directly.
Yeah.
Like someone looking over the railing at me. And the odd thing is you could feel it, but if you looked up, it was gone.
Mm.
But if you weren't paying attention in your peripheral, you would see this guy, and he was a tall, slender man, but it was just black, just pitch black.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't just see it, but you would feel it.
Mm.
Like that. It's kind of like the interference when someone walks into a room. When someone's walking into a room, you can kind of feel or hear or sense that interference. It's kind of like bringing it in an ear.
Like even when someone's behind you and you don't see him, you
Yeah.
kind of still you can turn around because you sense it. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And so this guy was like watching down on you. And yeah, I saw it the first visit where we heard the little girl in the backyard, but it happened on other visits. I went back to the house to install your mom's surround sound
Oh, I
system.
remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And I saw it walking in from the front garage because there was a garage to the right and a garage that was right and directly in the front. Walking in from that front garage, it happened again. I was walking in with the stereo equipment, and out of the peripheral of my vision, I could see him. He was up kind of like by where the third bedroom would be on that rotunda area.
Yeah.
And not only that, it was not just the guy in the hat and the little girl, but for whatever reason, that downstairs washroom, the one with the gold wallpaper and the really weird vanity, when you went in there, it seemed like you had vertigo. Like I had vertigo pretty much every time I went in there. It's like the walls were melting.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say that the house had a negative energy. Whoever the man was, that was not a positive energy. But I didn't feel threatened by the girl. I didn't feel threatened by the feelings in the downstairs washroom. But you knew that just the energy of the shadow man was not a good energy.
Yeah, definitely. And
It was,
do you ever feel like any cold spots there, or do you?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like there was in the downstairs washroom. It's like there was a constant breeze all the time.
I I don't want to blend into your story, but I felt like the mirror in there was more like a window, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
I
Like
always got creeped out.
it's one of those mirrors where you don't want to shut the light off and look into it. It just gives off that feeling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we were kids and you do the Bloody Mary sort of thing. It felt like one of those mirrors. So
Yeah.
you didn't want to shut the light off before you open the door.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That one, that whole house had me, walking a little faster down the hallway at night. Um,
And kind of getting into just that general area. It has a really rich history with Native American past and settler past, but the only other place that I could explain that felt that way was Black Star Canyon.
mm,
And Black Star Canyon is actually pretty famous in southern Orange County and just Orange County in general for having this super eerie, creepy vibe to it.
mm,
And I have a lot of experiences out at Black Star Canyon that are completely unexplained. But Black Star Canyon has an actual notarized history of things that had happened there with horse wrestling and an actual massacre on Native Americans in that area. So, like,
wow.
rightfully